Hey, good afternoon. Actually, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending with where you are watching this from. Betty here, totally excited that this day is here finally. We set it apart last week and decided we needed a follow up to the DPC class, the digital product cash out class. It was amazing. The feedback was amazing. For those of you who are here and you are in DPC, kindly let us know what is it you're doing to improve, where to see that you are moving from where you are at in various sectors of your life and making use of the DPC class. So followed that up with the Activate and Monetize Your Potential challenge. We want to be doing these challenges. We want to work together. We want to create a tribe, really. And we also want to learn from you. A lot of things, nobody knows everything. I am not a monopoly of knowledge. Nobody is a monopoly of knowledge. We keep learning from each other. So really want to welcome you to these 3 days of activating and monetizing our potential. It's gonna be we will be progressing from one level to the other. So today we are just gonna talk about potential. Tomorrow we'll talk about how to activate it, and the last day we'll talk about then how do we monetize our potential. So I'm very glad that you could join me. If you are online and you are participating in this challenge, I would like you to share this link with your friends. Let them come into the group, because even if you see this video elsewhere, it will not be saved, but it will be saved inside the group. So if you could share the link with your friends. We had already shared it in the Activate and Monetize Your Potential Facebook group where the challenge is happening. Kindly share it with others and feel welcome. This is my heart. I know I did the DPC. I know we do a lot of other challenges. I know we do EOP, earning from your online presence. But now when it comes to AMP, this is my baby. And this is something that I'm really passionate about. This is something that I really love to do, not only because I've seen results in my own life, but because I've seen results in the lives of my clients. Those of you who have invested in the Activate and Monetize Your Potential program, either the basic program or the executive coaching program or the business side of the program, please, if you're here and you would like to say how helpful it has been, I would really appreciate, just a sentence or two. So welcome. I would like us to just have a look at a few slides. I don't want us to really, make this so heavy. It's just a conversation. It's a conversation about potential. I remember 4 years ago, a client of mine walked into my office. That time I had an office in Westlands. And she didn't even say a lot of hellos. She just said, "Hey, Coach Betty, I saw something you had put up on Facebook about potential. I really don't understand the whole sentence, but I have this nagging feeling inside of me that I have some potential that is unused. I feel something pushing me, and I want you to help me identify what that is. And I also want you to help me reach the next level of my life. I'm stuck. I'm tired. I don't know where I am, and I want to be somewhere." And she told me, "I'm not lazy. I am not confused. I know what I want in life. I just want you to handhold me and let me know what potential I have and how I can take it to the next level." So she said, "I saw two words. I saw potential and I saw monetize. So I want you to help me around those two." Up until that day, I just had a good title. But after that lady left my office, I wondered to myself, "Oh, you mean it's not really obvious that we understand our potential, that we know what it is?" And I started a journey of thinking about potential. And I'll be talking to you about potential. It's a very it's a word that it's a sentence, and it's a word that can be a bit funny, when you talk about potential to people. And I'll tell you why sometimes people feel a bit off when you talk to them about their own potential. And I'll also tell you why it's important that we have this conversation. All right. So I'm very excited to engage with you all. I would like you to share with me what's your name, what do you do, and why did you join me today? Why are you here, really? If you're comfortable, you could tell me that whatever you are comfortable with. If you don't want to do your name, if you don't want to tell me what you do on an everyday basis, but at least I would like to know why did you join me today? That would really make me happy. So my name is Betty. People like to call me Betma, especially those that I schooled with. And I'm the founder of the AMP brand. AMP means activate and monetize your potential. We've used it for so long. Me and my clients have found a shorter way of calling AMP, activate and monetize your potential, AMP. So I help people get paid for their knowledge. That's what I do. I help you get paid for the expertise you've gained over the years. I help you get paid for the experience that you've gained at your workplace. I help you get paid for what you know that we don't. If you know how to fix, sales funnels, I help you get paid for that. If you know how to use Gmail very well, organize the emails and help clients around that, I help you get paid for it. If you're very, very good with Excel documents and you know how to use Excel to run a business, there are people who are very good with Excel. I help you get paid for that. Whatever skill that you own, whatever gift that you have, whatever is your talent, whatever is your passion, whatever is your knowledge, I help you get paid because many people know a lot of things. They actually go ahead and share those things. They are busy helping and they're not getting paid. I don't have a problem if you don't want to get paid for your knowledge, because you could have a job, you're happy with your job, you're earning well, you are okay, so you just want to share your knowledge for maybe impact or just for legacy. That's no problem, no fighting. But if you know you have some knowledge that you can use to increase your revenues, that you can use to get yourself a new job, a new career, that you can use to go up the career ladder, that you can use to grow your business, that you can use to create a new source of income, you are the one I'm talking to today. And I want us to have a conversation. So I help, me and you, we bust the mental blocks that keep us stuck. Yet we know we have a lot of potential. We know we have a lot of knowledge. Fun fact about myself is that I'm an introvert. I know a lot of people don't believe that, especially when they see my ads out there. They think, oh, she's very outgoing, she's very loud. I'm not. In fact, I really sometimes wish I could keep to myself a lot of times. Um, I don't like conventional. That's just me. I don't like being boxed into something and being told, Betty, this is all you can do within this box. This is how you tick the boxes. I'm not like that. I'm someone who likes to think outside the box. I'm someone who likes to have choices. I'm someone who likes to have options. That's me, and that's how I roll, and that's how I like it. I can dance once in a while in the midst of my very close friends who really don't care which step I'm taking. I'm loyal to a fault. When I become your friend, then we are friends. When I become your coach, then I'm loyal to that calling. I want you to succeed. When I become your coach, I want to see results. Sometimes it could look like I'm being a little bit tough on you, but really, I want you to find results. I don't want you paying for something that won't show us results. So I'm loyal to a fault, either to my clients, to my family, or to my friends out there. They know that. Yeah. I'm a wife and I'm a mommy to some wonderful children. And maybe once in life when we meet physically, you might have an opportunity to meet them, right? What do you want to expect today? What would you expect, by the way? I know you guys have expectations. I would like to see them. What are you expecting from this class? Maybe before I say something, can I have two people telling me what is it that they are expecting? Why did they join this challenge? Why are we here? What are you, expecting? What are you expecting from myself today? Yeah. What are you looking up to? I'm trying to reduce the volume of my phone. Mary says, I am Mary. I'm in the pharmaceutical industry. I just feel I need a fresh start in my life. I don't know how, but I feel I need to have freedom in my time and finances. Fantastic. You're in the right place, Mary. Brenda, I offer mentorship programs to youth 14 to 24 years. I really like that, Brenda. You really niched down, 14 to 24 years. That will do you really good, my dear. I'm really good in what I do. I know what I want, but I feel I can do more. I feel there's this huge, massive potential in me that is untapped. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. I can read that. And I hope that by the end of this presentation, we'll have really cleared some ground, even as we wait for tomorrow and the day after. All right. So what do you expect today? Imagine nothing out of the ordinary. You know why? Because I'm an ordinary human being, only that I learned something a little bit more, maybe 5 years ago, and I've been implementing that. But I'm your normal girl. I'm mama, I'm wife, I'm sister, I'm brother. I go through all the problems that you go through. I am in this country. I'm in the world right now. I can see the prices go up. I am not able to stop inflation. Imagine I'm not even able to buy Twitter. So the guys who are extraordinary are King Elon Musk, and I totally hope and pray that Elon Musk is gonna help us, because there's a lot of capitalism out there, and people like me who sell content online. I know what I'm saying. I really want him to buy Twitter, but please don't tell Jack Dorsey I said that. So nothing really out of the ordinary, just what I've learned, and I'll share it with you. And you don't need to add anything to what you have right now. Purity, Mary, Brenda, you really don't have to go out there and add humongous things. You don't need too many years. You don't need, in fact, can I dare to say this? You don't need anything extra. Whatever you have right about now is inside of you. I'll tell you what we need to do. You don't need anything extra. You don't need to attend another class. This class will be enough. You don't need to go get another 12,000 coaches. You really don't need that. But I'll tell you what we need. Expect a clear heart from me, a heart out to help. And if you're careful, taking notes, and being attentive, this is a whole MBA, just minus the Harvard logo. Can you believe that? And guess what? At the end of these 3 days, I want to present to you an offer. I know you have attended webinars and people didn't come out clearly to tell you that at the end of these, I'll present to you an offer. I definitely will do that so that it doesn't come to you as a surprise. However, I don't want you to really think too many things about offers. I want you to focus. And the reason I've told you that before is so that you can focus on what I'll say. If you can't focus on what I'll say the next 3 days, you could actually do this by yourself. Imagine 100%, I can assure you that. Only that it will take you some time, some experience, some learning to do. Some learning doesn't come very pretty. It comes as sandpaper, but you definitely would do this on your own. But anywho, day 3, I'll present to you an offer. All right. Either day 3 or the days to come. All right. I also want to tell you that my potential became my offer. I want to tell you that my potential became my job. For the last 7 years, I have been really, the job I've been doing came out of my potential. So I am trying to demystify the word potential. It's a job I do. I wake up, I eat, I read, I do everything, my potential. So your potential can become your offer. I know a lot of people who keep saying, oh, I don't know what to offer. Coach Betty keeps talking about offers. I really don't know what I can offer the world. I'm really confused and I don't know how to go on. All right. I want to ask you a question. If you were to be very honest, would you say that you are living up to your potential? Would you say that? Anyway, do you even know your potential? Can you put it up in one sentence and say, this is my potential and now I'm living to my potential? I want to give you a minute, not so that I can test you as a teacher, but so that you can have a moment to think about it. Can you really say that you're living your potential? Like you're living full out. You're happy doing what you're doing. You wake up, like today morning, it's a Tuesday. We've been having 4 days of Easter. I was excited for Easter because we took a little bit of break, but I couldn't wait for today. That's how excited I am about my potential and what it became. So I want to ask you today, would you say you're living up to your potential? If you want to tell me that in the comment section, I'll be happy. If you want to keep it to yourself, it is fine. Would you really, really say that I, John, I, James, I, Martin, I, Betty, I, Jane, I, Margaret, I, Purity, I, Lorraine, I, Catherine, I, Clenity, I am really, really, Lenity, I'm living to my potential. Would you really say that? I want to give you 30 seconds to think about it. And tell me, please, in the comment section, it's a yes or a no. I mean, we are not here to fight. Are you really living up to your potential? Great. I think we've had 30 seconds. You can keep telling me. I've seen the responses. And guess what? No judgment. And guess what? No worries. And imagine I was there. One day I answered that question, but that is the day everything changed for me. So the difference between you being here today and being where you want to be in future could be this moment, just this moment that I've given you to think about that, to think, are you living up to your potential? And if you're not, what's next? And I'm very happy that we are honest. We are telling each other the truth. I told you I'm a very authentic coach. I don't like to come here to make you feel good. That's not my job. My job is to help you live up to your potential. That's my job. If living up to your potential will make you feel good, that's fantastic. But please, let's first do the job. So if you know you're not living up to your potential, welcome. You're in the right place totally. You are home. And guess what? This person here talking to you was where you are one day, not long ago. And guess what? Even in some of my areas of my life, some areas of my life, I am not living up to my potential. I can tell you that for sure. I ain't living up to my potential in some areas of my life. But when it comes to what I do, when it comes to what I wake up to do every day, I can feel and tell that I feel good. I'm at a happy place. So, does this sound like you? You've been waiting to become an expert so that you could activate your potential. So, you've been saying something like, you know what? Let me give myself the next 2 years. Let me give myself, let me see what Coach Betty is doing. Let me check out Coach Irene. Let me check out this and this person. In fact, let me, maybe you told yourself 2022, I'll be ready. We are in April. You've already decided you're not ready, so you really are waiting for 2023. Does that sound like you? Does this sound like you? There's something you've been waiting for to take the next step. I don't know what it is, but you keep telling yourself there's something. You haven't gotten to the point of sitting down to actually call out that something and actually say, what I've been waiting for is help, or what I've been waiting for is to win my own mindset, or what I've been waiting for is to bring up my kids, the three of them or the two of them, or this is what I've been waiting for. Maybe you've never had that moment. So does this still sound like you? You feel that there is something more to your existence than you are currently achieving. You're like, no, 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 no. I know I have a nice job. I know I'm driving a nice car. I know I'm living in a house and I'm not sleeping outside. I know I pay my bills on time, but there is something more. There's something more about me. There's something that I haven't really brought out. There's something that hasn't really, you know, come out from me. There's that thing inside of me that I really must bring out. And I probably you can't put a finger to it. There's no name to that something, but you really do feel that there is that something. Does that sound like you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? You can see that life is becoming pretty expensive. And I know the people who attend my class are not ignorant to say that this is a Kenyan thing. I know you're not that ignorant. I know you read Forbes. You do read the Entrepreneur magazine. I know you read Wall Street. I know your source of information is not very, very myopic and limited. So you definitely know this is a global issue. You know that inflation is really, really up. By the way, I was really looking at the Forbes magazine. You know, they write an article. You can go look for it. And this is what they said last week, that currently prices globally are up a whopping 8.5. And it even broke it down. I'll show you to what and what and what. You know, sometimes we really don't know what's happening because we get carried in narrow thinking and narrow moments of, oh, life is very expensive, fuel is very expensive. Then we stop at that. We don't go out to ask, what's really going on? Is this a global problem, or is this a remote problem? Do I need to do anything, or do I just sit pretty and wait for things to go out of hand? It's important that we do that. But I know my students, you guys, you do a little bit more research than that. So could this be you? You truly, really want to do something so that you can bridge the gap between the inflation and where we are and where you are at your workplace, your business, because it actually means you've got to find, you've got to increase income, you've got to find more, you've got to increase your income. I do personally, I've told you about myself, and another thing I forgot to tell you, I'm an abundant thinker. I really never think of cutting costs, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's fantastic to cut costs, but up to how far? Would it not be better to look at how can I increase, of course, being careful with your revenues, but how can I increase the revenues? Instead of thinking, how do I cut marketing costs? Why don't you think, how do I increase revenues into my business? Today in the morning, I woke up early, and because I was attending to some meeting, I couldn't be able to go see my team. So I gave them a call, each and every branch. I gave them a call and say, hey, good morning. How are you? How has the day started? And I threw a challenge their way, and I asked them, what's your plan for this week of increasing revenues to the business? What's your plan? A few branches had already decided this is what we are going to do for the week. That is what I've taught them. I've taught them not to complain. I have taught them not to whine. I have taught them to look for solutions. I have taught them to think outside the box. And so we had a good conversation today. So could it be that you're worried? How do you maintain your life? So do we stop cooking food because the price of oil is totally expensive? Do we stop driving? Do we really stop going for holidays? Do we stop living? Is that a worry you're having? Does this sound like you'd really desire a good life? And a good life to me is not the good life to you. Every one of us knows what a good life is. For me, a good life means, for me, that I'm able to afford what I want, really. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to like a dress and not be able to afford that dress. Imagine that's just me. And it doesn't matter whether that dress costs $1, $10, $100. I want, if I am happy with something, I want to be able to afford it. I want, if my mom calls me and she's in need of money, I want to be able to give her that money. I really want to be able that, to me, a good life is a life that allows me to have choices. Money choices. I can choose how I want to live. You desire a good car, you want a good home. The men in the group, you probably want to build a good home for your family. You want a good school for your kids. I mean, you want to take them to, there's a school you've chosen for them. Do you want to travel and buy better memories? The good thing with money, you can buy memories, yes, and you can buy better memories. So, so what do you want? Could this be you? Does this sound like you? This, the last one that I want to talk about, I want to spend a little time on it. Could this be you? You totally disdain the toil. You hate the toil. It is not commensurate to the rewards that you're receiving. The toil, we toil too much. You wake up so early. I want to describe toil. You wake up so early, you work so hard, there's no resting, there's no me time. You can go to swim, you can go to take a walk, you can go see your mama randomly. You really cannot call your friend up and say, hey, are you up for a drink? because they're going to tell you, no, 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 I'm at work and I'm leaving on this day. Can we meet up for Easter? That is 3 months down the line. I totally like us to, I totally disdain the toil. Like you're working too hard, the results are not commensurate. That is what I call the toil. If you're working and the results are fantastic, I think that's just work. It's a good job. You like it. But if you're toiling, and not having a good time of your life, then I think we should clearly think about that. All right. So does that sound like you? Let me show you the reality that I found from Forbes advisor. Meat, poultry, fish, and eggs, the increase is 13.7%. Electricity, 11.1%. Women's dresses, I mean, we will not stop dressing, so we need to know what's going on. Jewelry and watches, that's the increase. Furniture and bedding, I totally avoided the fuel debate. We already know what's going on. So this being the trend, last week, Batwana was teaching the DPC class with Ambrose, and Ambrose said, hi, you guys. He's at the back. He's like in this, but he's in another meeting, but he's at the back. So we were teaching and we were looking at, data. What is data? You don't just see these figures and they are nothing. You see these figures, analyze them like a scientist. Right now I know scientists are in the lab and they're like, this COVID caught us unawares. We've got to win this. Let's look at the data. What happened in Kenya? How many people are vaccinated? What is the result? That is what they are doing. They're crazy right now. What are you crazy about? Are you looking at these figures? Is this data meaning anything to you? Or are you just sitting pretty and hoping things will work by themselves? Or, the president is going to work this out. Our president will work this out. The governors will work this out. My boss will work this out. There's someone who will work this out, not you. When you look at this data, please, I would like it to make sense to you. Any data that you come across, especially if you're an entrepreneur, please, my dear ones, it must make sense to you. And then you ask yourself, what next? I've seen the data. I've shown you guys the data. Now what? That's the data. Now what? Now what? Now, let's talk about potential, because I can only give you what I know, and I can only give you what I know will help do something else. It's not that we are helpless, not really, but there are changes going on, and we really need to pay attention to the changes. So potential means that things could and have the ability to happen. It actually means that there is a possibility we can move the needle. That's potential. Potential means there's a possibility that Grace, there's a possibility that John could win an elective seat. There's a possibility that Betty could grow this company to the next big five if she wants, if that's what I want. By the way, really, let me tell you the truth. I am not that person who wants to be Elon Musk. Mimi, I don't want. To me, that's not success. But I really look at Elon Musk as very, very successful. That's not the success I want. But I know there's potential within me to get me to where I want to go. Success as personally defined by me. This is what I want to say. Having talked to people and with people about potential for the last 5 years, potential is a very difficult topic. It's very difficult. Why? Opinions. People have their own opinions, and can be hurtful or feel personal when we when we come to talking about potential. But I want to risk it. Pardon me if you can, but I really want to risk it. And let's carry on. Let me tell you why potential can be, a difficult topic. I want to be a little sensitive and considerate, but I also want to be the coach that I am. So I don't want to just let it go. People, why potential is a difficult topic, people may not want to use their potential really. I mean, there are some people who see me talking about potential out there, they're like, who asked you? Who told you I needed to use it? I'm fine. And do you know why I know that? Because I was there. I would hear people talk and I'm like, oh, motivational speakers, here they are. I didn't really, what I do is not motivational speaking, you guys. I coach, but I have a special interest in potential because I've seen it work for me. So people may not want to use their potential at the end of the day. They may be fine where they are. Imagine they may have their own reasons why they are quiet. And that's why I trend carefully when I'm talking about potential. I know there are people who are here, they really would want to take their potential to the next level, but they have their own personal reasons why they are quiet. Life is good, but also life is not a straight line. And also life is life. I wanted to say life is difficult, but I want to say life is life and it happens. All right. There are other people who may have done better for themselves and even surpassed the potential that we see in them. Maybe you look at someone and you're thinking that person could do better in this and this area, but where they are, they're fine and they've done very good for themselves. Comments about people's lives could touch a raw nerve. It could touch a raw nerve. You might want to talk to your employee about the potential you see in them, and they don't see it the way you see it. Why? Maybe you don't know what has been going on in their lives. You really don't know why they are the way they are. You have a clean heart. You want to help, but it triggers something that is not desirable. So that's why I'm saying I want to be very careful around the topic of potential. But anyway, much as it could touch a raw nerve, much as it's a very sticky subject, much as it's very canny, I know we can agree on a few outcomes. I know we can agree on potential is something, it's something good, really, much as it can bring some kind of feelings. It's something really good. Let me tell you about my own story with potential. I, Betty, didn't really know what I was made of. I just knew I went to school, wanted to be a lawyer, really wanted to have a job, and really wanted to have a job that could allow me to really wear short skirts, very high heels, long hair, go to the village driving in my long hair. Those were my dreams. And that for me, I didn't really think beyond that because I had my own perception of how my life needed to look like. And for me, that was boss lady. I mean, I am able to do this and that. So telling me to think about employing another 30 people, that was way out of, it wasn't out of my league, but it wasn't a discussion I had, and it wasn't something that I thought I could do because I didn't really know what I was made of. But someone took a risk on me. They trended carefully, took a risk, and said something that really touched my nerves. The first day, the second day, I was thinking to myself, please, already, can you finish with the motivational speaking? And we can get to the real issues because I have a job. I mean, I worked for the best boys around. What could someone come and tell me after that? But what I am not telling you guys, we'll talk about it in the next slide, is that in as much as we avoid this kind of discussions, there's something within us. If someone mentions it and mentions it carefully, we are able to see the other side of us, the other side of our own potential. So me, I had settled. I was happy. I was having a job. I had somewhere to wake up and go every morning. There was salary coming in every 24th of the month. Can you imagine? If I wanted to take a loan, I would take a loan. And I was ticking boxes, really. So then exposure happened, through books. I've always really liked reading, but maybe it wasn't, I hadn't really come across a book that really piqued my interest as far as potential was concerned. I've always been a reader. I read a lot of things. I read very wide. So in fact, I knew there were possibilities, but maybe not as not me, for other people. I listened to someone's. I've gone through coaching. I'll tell you about it in mentorship. But most importantly, who is that wizard? Who is that my wizard? My secret sauce? Who is that who touched a very raw nerve, but anyway, at the end of the day, made it work for me? So, can I tell you what my problem was? And I know I have deserted you guys. What are you telling me? Are you telling me something? Are you learning? Are you learning? Are you learning, you guys? I would like to know. Are you with me or did you leave me here? I know we are at 34th minute. I hope you haven't left me here speaking to myself. I know potential is a topic that is like that, but please don't leave me here. And Purity is saying, why are you addressing me directly? I always feel the knowledge I have is not enough to start up. No problem. You're in the right place. So I would like to hear, are you guys here? Are you learning? Is this something you would like your best friend to learn as well? Will you share with them so that they are here tomorrow? And someone tells me, I love my freedom. Somebody else tells me very keen learning. Somebody else says say learning, say it again. I'm sorry I'm calling you someone else, but I know my screen will bring the names later. Right now it's just saying Facebook user, but no worries, keep them coming, keep them coming. All right. So what was my problem? why was i why was I not thinking about my own potential much as I had people talk about it? Much as I had my manager tell me one day, Betty, I really like what you do in this team, and I would like us to have a conversation. And when we had a conversation, he told me, this is what I would like you to do. Anytime you hear I have a meeting, get ready. I want you to be ready with data, and I'll be asking you sometimes inside the meeting or before the meeting. I want you to prepare for me so that I have good data to go and present, and to just beef up my presentation. All right. I didn't pay attention to that. I didn't think it was anything. I just think I was doing my job. I had a lot of people tell me, Betty, anytime I meet you and anytime I share my problems with you, you always seem to have an answer that really helps me. And so, Betty, I want us to have some coffee. This happens to me a lot. A lot of long phone calls of an hour and a half. And Betty, this is going on in my life. What do you think? What should I do? I really didn't think about it too much. What was my problem? My problem was ignorance. I didn't know that there was a name to that thing that people saw in me and called me for it. I didn't know there was a name to it. I actually didn't think it was anything important. Most importantly, I didn't think I could earn from it. I didn't think I could put it together, structure it nicely, package it, and earn from it. Most importantly, make it my life, make it something that I wake up to every day. That was total ignorance. And if no ignorance is no bliss. The other problem I had was self-doubt. Wondering to myself, really, me? Anybody is going to listen to me? Why would they remove their wallet to pay me? Who really do I think I am? But I have a job and I'm good, and I didn't come from the best families around. I don't live on the right side of town. Neither do I really belong to the groups. So so why me? That was this, the committee. That committee that meets in your mind every morning, and the conversation they have, not really every morning, every time there's potential to be utilized by you. Anytime there's potential to be busted, there's that committee telling you, let me see her name, Catherine. You think you can really do that? You think if you get that promotion, you'll do that job? You're joking. You really don't remember what your manager said about you 2 years ago. You don't see how they put you down in meetings. You seem to ignore the fact that you're a nobody in this company. Please get reminded and stick to your lane. That is that stupid committee. I call it stupid because I think it's stupid. And the worst thing is that it's in our own minds, but it's there. And that committee was in me. And that committee used to tell me, but you're not very well spoken, Betty. Like, you didn't go to the group of schools. What do you think you can tell people? When I wrote my book, I wrote that book amidst a lot of self doubt. And I kept wondering to myself, is that the right way to write that sentence? I downloaded Grammarly, for those of you who know Grammarly. I wanted to buy this, the pro that even does all the editing. A lot of self doubt. A lot of self doubt. I lacked confidence. Why did I lack confidence? Because nobody told me better. I thought to myself, people are going to laugh at you. They are going to say, why did you leave your job? Betty, like, are you even serious? You leave a corporate job in one of the very big boys where everybody thinks you're doing very well. Are you even serious? You really are joking. And another one came. I'm a firstborn. That one came. How many are firstborns? You know this script. Betty, you're really joking. Remember, you're a firstborn. Remember, you need to sort this and this and this and this at home. You know, all these burdens are on you. Please remember that. Be wise. Stop being silly. What anyway do you think you're going to bring to the world? Another one told me, Betty, look at your managers. Look at the people who in this country are doing very well. They don't do the kind of thing you want to attempt. So are you crazy right now? So the confidence crumbles. And the moment you feel you're not confident, you won't go ahead, despite what you carry between your ears. I want to tell you something right now because you came to this class. Let me tell you, half the people exploiting their potential out there, half the people doing amazing things, half the people who are going to stand for elective posts right now are they are half where you are. They are half your potential. Half those people don't know anything that you do. They are not as half good as you are. Like you're really, really good, but confidence levels down there. So have you ever asked yourself, why is this my colleague always getting promotions? Why are they always the ones getting the good projects? Why are they always the ones getting a salary raise? Why does the boss like them? Could it be that they have some good confidence that you lack? Could it be? Could it be that they present themselves very well? Could it be that they know how to express themselves? Sometimes they could even use your work to go negotiate a position. What lacks? What's the difference? All right. The other problem I had was that I didn't know the how. I knew I was gifted. I knew I sorted people's problems. I knew I could talk to someone and they would find a solution. I knew I would help my friends deal with problems at their workplaces. I knew I could speak to business people. I have a business friend of mine. He comes from my village. He's my mentor, by the way. When I was growing up, he would come home driving, and my mother would say, look at that guy. You need to think of how you will be coming home driving. So that's the guy I grew up looking up to. And that guy I grew up looking up to. One time I was still working for Safaricom. He called me and we had tea and we had a discussion. And as we were talking, he told me what he was struggling with just as a way of, we were having stories. I asked him, have you tried this and this and this? He said, no, I didn't look at it that way. I told him, could try that probably. In a month, he called me and asked me, oh, how did you know this was a problem? And I told him, I just thought I've observed, I've learned, I've read books, I've done the job. I mean, I've been employed for the last 6 years, so I've seen some of these things happen. And he said, thank you very much. My God, thank you so much. I don't know how I can reward you because things are back to normal. It's something very small I told him to go and do. And that something very small was to go and involve and engage his own employees in the processes that he was coming up with. So his personality type is that one of, you guys, I've come up with 1, 2, 3 things. I want you, Jen, to implement 1, 2, 3, and John, take it, this. Employees are looking at him like, okay, all right. At the end of the day, they're thinking, okay, we really don't matter around here. So I told him, no, go repeat that process. This time round, repeat it with them. In fact, throw it to them, let them come up with the solutions. They'll tell you who can handle what best. It really ended up being such an eye-opener, a big breakthrough. And up to today, things really just turned around. Of course, he has maintained me as the consultant for that company. And it even went from a friendship. We are still friends, very much friends. He's my mentor, we are friends, but I'm also a consultant, so he pays me. Yeah, it's that relationship. It's complicated, but we like it that way. Now, the biggest problem that I had is called the problem of my mindset. Because at the end of the day, it's my mindset that made me have self-doubt. It's my mindset that gave me very little confidence or none at all. It is my mindset that made me think that I didn't know the how. Imagine I actually almost knew the how. I want to talk about mindset And I want us to dwell a little bit more on mindset. But before then, imagine I knew I had all these giftings, yet I struggled with chronic. Imagine I included the word chronic because it was month after month after month. I didn't have money. I would be paid on the 24th, and by 30th, I would have zero money. Meanwhile, I didn't have a large family to take care of. I didn't buy big plots of land. I didn't know what I was doing with the money. But yani, I ensured that every end of I had more month remaining than the money. There was more days of the month than my money could meet. So why did I struggle with that? Yet I knew I was very gifted. I struggled with unfulfillment. Waking up every day feeling, no, this is not me. I don't like to sit here and hit at my laptop, analyze data on Excel. This is not me. I didn't like it. I didn't feel that happiness. I was happy I was happy I had a job. I was happy every end month I could get a salary. I was happy to be associated with the big boys. I was happy. I loved my colleagues. We had nyam chom. We would have outings. We would go for team buildings in Mombasa, Nairobi, Nakuru. I mean, we would be this squad. But there's still a gap in my, there was a gap in my heart. Something kept telling me, no, no, Betty, no, there's something more to this life than you're being able to fulfill. Again, I didn't have time to attend to my own personal matters. I really lacked time to go around looking for a good handbag. Me, I told you I love the good side of life. I didn't have time to go looking for somewhere I could. I didn't have time to randomly drop at my parents' house and say hello. I didn't have that kind of time. I didn't have time to attend to all my friends' functions, weddings, these kind of things. Again, I did not have the ability to make decisions, whether good or bad. I didn't have the ability to do that. Make decisions, you know. I was this person, Betty, do this, alrighty, I do it, I bring a report. So tomorrow, Betty, do this, alrighty, go do it, bring a report. Betty, do this. I felt like I needed to bring my own contribution and show people that this is what Betty can do. And then I don't like routine, you guys. Me, I don't like routine. I don't like to wake up every day, every morning, and we are doing the same thing, same thing, same thing. Conventional bores me to death. Like I really don't like conventional. I like out of the box. More wahalas. In Nigeria, they say wahala instead of problems. So the more wahalas I went through were me, I really get stressed because of broke. I don't like broke. I like life choice. I like to have choices. So when broke comes, I have learned over time that life happens, but really it I don't like to be in that situation of not feeling broke. I don't like to be in that situation of feeling broke. I like feeling liquid. Liquid. There's liquid to do what you want to do. And I like creating things, coming up with things. So, do you identify with any of these? None of you told me this, but I worked in a work environment. I've dealt with clients, so I know. Do you feel like you're struggling with a toxic workplace? Do you feel like there's no chance to shine where you're working? Or even in your own business, you feel this businessman, it's draining me? Do you feel like you want to have something to call your own? Like you wake up every day and say, "This is John and John and Sons Limited." Do you feel like that? Do you feel like you want a better life for your family? Do you feel? Do you hate begging? Like really, give me money, give me, extend, give me. Do you really hate begging? Do you want to prove to people that it is possible? And it's important. If Elon Musk is not proving to us that success is possible, who else would be encouraging us? You are probably the person your village is waiting for to rise and wake up and grow. You are probably the person your whole extended family is waiting for. You're probably the person that will show us the way. You are really. Sometimes we have enemies that we really need to show you guys. You talked down on me. You really put me down. You thought I was made of nothing. Here I am. Do you want to heal trauma? There's probably some trauma that you experience in life. and you feel that I identify with this. Did life happen to you and you are struggling with, if I was able to put my potential together, I would be able to sort out what happened to me, because life happens and it is happening to all of us every single day. Now, let's come to this. What helped me, Betty, discover my potential? I will say this. One day, I got to my breaking point. I was like, this is it. I can't take it anymore. I don't want this kind of life anymore. I don't want to struggle this much anymore. Me, I don't want the toil anymore. Please. I was like, enough is enough. And I want you to think to yourself, that conversation was happening between Betty, the body, the soul, the spirit, and the mind, the heart. That was me. I was like, no, 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 no. This is not how I want to run a business. I don't want I don't want every end of month I am stressed out where bills are going, where I'm gonna get money to pay the bills. I don't want that. I didn't want to walk into a shop and not be able to buy what I want. I didn't want that. So what did I do? I combed the internet. I watched those YouTube videos. I read the books. I reached out to people. I reached out to coaches. I went out and wild, by the way. Guess what? I had time to do it, but it's not that I had really time. I was depressed and not I really needed a solution, you guys. So I met people who I also opened my ears and eyes wide. I was out there looking. I invested a lot of time. I invested a lot of time to learn, and I invested a lot of time to know what's going on. So then what happened? What did I find out? I found out that there was something called coaching. I didn't know. I found out that there was coaching, and so I started hiring coaches. I hired my first coach. Her name is Coach Irene Muridi. You can check her out on the internet. And Irene had a host of other coaches who started to, you know, break it down for me. In a business, you have to know financial, management. In a business, you have to know people management. In a business, you have to know your numbers. In a business, you have to know what it is you are offering. In a business, you have to be clear about what you're offering. Wow. And things started changing. I met another coach. His name is James Karundu. You can look out for him. And he went through a journey. Betty, what is that you want to offer? What's the name? How can we structure it? How long is it gonna be? And so he started opening up my mind. As much as the more I went out looking for people to help me, the more I got breakthroughs. Then I came across Lisa Nichols. If you don't know Lisa Nichols, please go find out who she is. So I come across Lisa, buy her courses online, get indulged, get sold out, do this thing, find out, dig out information. The more I dug, the more I realized, wow, Betty, the possibilities are endless. There is so much you can do. There's so much about you. So my learning was shortened by coaches, really, really shortened my learning curve, my learning time. It gave me a spring because I was able to say, this is my coach. She has done this and this. And the more I said, this is my coach, the more people believed in me and the more they invested in me. It gave me confidence. It helped me benchmark. What are people doing? What do they know? What is it that I don't know? Imagine, it also helped me with hand holding. A coach is someone who hand holds you. So they would ask me, so Betty, you said you want to write a book. You're in chapter what? And I would say, I'm starting today. And so I would go start today because I don't like failing. So I didn't want to report tomorrow that I'm starting today. Again, what else did I find? I found what we call the C: structured support, encouragement, and accountability. Structured support, there were all that time I was on YouTube, on the internet, browsing, reading books, I don't know, doing what, attending all the networking events. That's very unstructured. And if it's that unstructured, you're bound to waste a lot of time. You're also bound to pick a lot of ideas that make you go crazy because you don't know which one to implement. You don't know which one to run with. All right. So that really wastes your time and it wastes your energy. And the more your time is wasted, the more energy is wasted, the more you start breaking down, the more you start giving up, the more you're like, hey, I don't want it. Whatever. Let me go back to employment. I want to close this business. I can't find head or tail. I'm confused. I've tried to find information. I'm lost. You know why you are lost? You are everywhere. You don't have structured support. You do not have encouragement. You don't have someone to be accountable to. So your own boss, you're your own boss. You go to your own work at 11 and get out at 3 and you think it's going to work. So really, what really helped me and what gave me a spring in my step, my wizard was coaching. And through coaches, Coach Aaron Murray, James Karundu, Lisa Nichols, and my current coach, my business coach is called Coach CK. I've had another coach, a sales coach called Pam. I've had so many of these people. God, they've really made my life easier. And so every day I ask myself, what can I do? What can I do to make another person's life easy? So I have been able to make 6 figures using my expertise. Some of my dreams have come true right before my eyes. Dozens of clients and corporates have found breakthroughs because I said yes. I said yes to my own potential. Are you going to say yes to your own potential today? I want to know. Will you say yes to your own potential? Do you want to find out what your potential is? Do you really want help? Do you want to go to the next level? I want to show you what my clients have been saying because they've been winning and they've been winning big. I just want these are some of the I screenshot. For me, I like to show you so that you don't say, oh, Betty, anapenda kujisifu. This is what my client said. This one says, and there's an institution. I told them, I said to him, that's the power of a niche statement because I helped them come up with their own niche statement. And he said, and there's an institution I always used to give free talks. This time I charged them 5K, and on top of that, I got a business to pay me 60K. They are taking me very seriously. Please pardon the typo. This is my client. I just took it. Thank you for your contribution. That telling me thank you for your contribution, Betty. So this is someone who used to go give free talks. He actually didn't think that that potential between his ears could be paid. This was a while back, so I don't know how much he's charging right now. But can you see we are creating? Me, Betty, I like to create. So we created 5,000, we created 60,000. And that actually means if he did a good job, the next time he was going to find a bigger job. So this one says, this is Frederick. He says, thank you, coach. You have done quite much for us to help us start and grow our coaching businesses. I truly know this has been out of sacrifice. What we paid for this course is not comparable to the value we have drawn from the program. He says, I have personally not done much since the beginning of this year, but it's because I need to strategize, blah, blah, blah. All right. But that's someone who can say, this lady says, I know so far I have loved my journey with you, Betty. Mimi sikuachili. She had said, where you go, I will go. All right. So these are my clients. This is not me saying it. And this is also my client, Coach Betty. As I said before, knowing you was the best thing that ever happened to me. You have given me a new career. Who is looking for a new career in here? All together. A fresh start in a way I couldn't have imagined. This is what I also couldn't have imagined about myself, were it not for the fact that I went out to look for coaches. Crawling slowly but headed somewhere. God richly reward you for the impact that you are making in this world. This is another one. Says, hi, family. I don't even know where to start. I am super and forever grateful for taking this class. A lot is happening behind the scenes. As for me, my whole business took a turn during and after the class. My ideal client also changed. Yeah, because I also teach you to target your ideal client. Your ideal client is the one who will pay you what you're supposed to be paid and will pay attention so that you don't go attracting all kind of clients, the good and the bad. And I don't want to say all those ones, but they are clients you wish you never ever signed up. I don't want you to attract those ones. So she says, I'm able to target to specific client, and in this, the only way forward was a rebrand. So this lady actually went out there and rebranded her business. So I'm just sharing with you these testimonials, and this is what I want to say from Grant Cardone. Grant says, I suggest that you become obsessed about the things you want. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lifetime being obsessed with making excuses as to why you didn't even find the things that you wanted to find. All right. So, and I would like to end where Grant Cardone ends. And I want to say this. I suggest that you become obsessed with finding out what is that potential that is in you. Where can you, what can you do with it? What can you do with that potential? I would really like you to go find that potential because it's important. And I would like you to take time to ask yourself, now that I'm not really living up to my potential, what next? What do I do? Do I get stuck here? Or what do I do? Do I go look for solutions? Do I go back? Do I get stuck? Or what next? That is my challenge to you today. What next? So I will meet you tomorrow. But for the people who will not be able to attend this, they can. There will be another release in the evening, so they can participate in the evening. We will have a Q&A. We will let you know the Q&A. So this broadcast is going to be in the group, the Facebook WhatsApp group. You are home, but guess what? This is not going to be available for forever. I want you to interact with this video for the next 72 hours. Watch it again, take your notes, because after that, we are going to take it down. There is a reason for that. So I don't want you to keep thinking about potential forever. Amen. I want you to take action. So in the next 72 hours, I want you to have taken action. So I don't want this video to be the impediment that makes you not take action. So thank you very, very much. Thank you for joining me. I totally appreciate you. I'll see you in the evening for the Q&A. Please be ready with your questions. I want to hear you with your questions. Come ready, 8 to 9. We interact, we catch up, and you tell me a thing or two about your potential, and I'll see how I can help. Thank you very, very much for participating. I totally appreciate you. Thank you for being in my life today. Thank you.